What's up everyone, Lex DeVille here, and in this video we are going to talk about why clients are posting jobs on Upwork and then they either let the job expire or they close the job. Why is that happening? Especially when you sent a really good proposal, you think it's great. What happened there? Why did that happen? We're going to answer that. First, most recent video on the channel was a breakdown of one of the very first proposals I sent this year. It was targeting a completely different niche, and I got a response very quickly. So go check that out if you want to see that breakdown of that proposal and how all that goes. Also remember to like this video when you get a chance because it helps us, it supports the channel, it supports me in making these videos for you. Today's question came through YouTube. It was a YouTube comment, and it was about why are clients posting jobs, they're getting a bunch of proposals, and they're just closing them out or letting them expire. And I shared my experience based on my experience. So my answer to this was based on my own experience of why I do both of these things. The reason I do this, there's two parts to it. So first of all, if I am letting a job expire, that means I'm letting it go like 30 days, I think it's 30 days, and then it just closes on its own. If that's happening, it's because I posted the job, I got a bunch of proposals, and I looked through all of those proposals, and none of them were a fit. This is my opinion. I know that a lot of you think that you have a great proposal, you think that you spent a lot of time writing this custom proposal for the client, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you think it is, it matters how good it is to the client, how closely it matches what they need done, how much it jumps off of the page to them, shouting to the heavens that you are the actual expert based on what is in your proposal. It's not about calling yourself an expert. It's about your proposal demonstrating that you are truly an expert in this space. So when I post a job and I get, let's say I get 20 proposals, I go through all 20 of them and then I start archiving them. I archive the ones that aren't a fit, and a lot of the time, and this happens to me all the time, it'll be none of them. All 20 proposals will be duds. And some of them have experience, maybe they have good experience even, but it's not experience that is relevant to me. So I just archive them and then I'll wait. Sometimes I'll wait to see if other freelancers will trickle in. And maybe after a day or 2 days, it gets a little bit slower. And then after a while, the proposals die off and I forget that I left the job post open to see if anyone else applied. And then maybe 30 days rolls around and it closes, and that's what happened. The other situation that happens is I post a job, a bunch of proposals come in, and I go through them, none of them are a fit, archive all of those, and so I wait maybe the same day, maybe another day, but I need to hire somebody quickly. I need to hire somebody now. So when I'm not getting people who are coming in after a day, I know that it's going to trickle down, it's going to slow to a trickle, and then I'm going to stop getting applicants. So I just close the job and then I post a new job, and this pops my job post back to the top of the search results, and a bunch of new people will see that job post, and I get new applicants, and I can sort through those, and I get a bunch of them now because I'm not, after a day or two it dies off. I don't get very many applicants after that first day or so. So if I repost it, I get a bunch more applicants. Now, why did you not get hired when you spent so much time writing this custom proposal for this client? That is a tricky question, but my short answer is that the client believes that you are not the right fit for the job. In other words, your proposal sucks. It may not suck to you. You may have put a lot of time and effort into it, but if it sucks to the client, that's the only thing that matters, because the client is the decision maker. They are the one who decides, are these people a fit or are they not a fit? And if they're not a fit, which is demonstrated through expertise, that's demonstrated through your relevance, your credibility, and your attention to detail, things of that nature. If I go through your proposal and I see that you're not a fit, I'm going to quickly archive you and I'm going to move on because I'm a client. I don't have time to waste on reading your full stupid proposal whenever, like for instance, you don't say something relevant to me within the first line. If you don't say something relevant at the beginning of the paragraph, if I browse through it and your samples aren't relevant, if you're just sending me to generalized samples, the things that we've talked about in recent videos with mistakes that freelancers are making. You make these mistakes, the client's going to archive you, and if they don't find somebody, then they're going to move on. But this all comes to the client's, it's all about the client's perspective. It's based on their perspective, not yours. So when you're writing your proposals, you need to step out of your own perspective. You have to put yourself into the client's mindset. You have to think about this like a client. Write your proposal, write what you think is a good proposal, and then go back and read the job post and reread it and see if there's anything you missed. See if there are any little clues that tell you what this client wants. Sometimes I'll write a proposal for a copywriting job, and I might write it really quirky and unique and fun and creative. And then I go back and reread the job post, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute. This client is looking for something maybe a little more professional. Maybe this is hinted to me based on their niche or their industry. Maybe it's something they state more directly, that they're looking for something professional. So now I have to go back through my proposal and I look at it and I say, okay, if I'm the client and I read this proposal, what am I thinking? Well, I'm thinking that this person is really got this creative mindset and they approach me super creatively, but what I need is professional. So I'm going to archive this person because they clearly don't understand what I need. And that is their objection. And if you put yourself in that place of understanding that objection, now you can form a solution for it. What would my solution be? Well, it would be to adjust some of the language in my proposal so that the entire proposal comes across more professionally to the client. And now, when that client sees that, it connects better with them. It's going to be in rapport better with them, and it's going to increase my chances of getting to that interview stage. If the client is letting job posts expire or they're closing them out, it means they think that all of the proposals they received suck. And it's hard for some of you to hear that because I know that a lot of you are putting effort and time into your proposals, but that doesn't necessarily make them good. What makes a good proposal is when you can detach yourself from it, basically, when you can step outside of yourself, when you can put yourself in the client's shoes and start to ask questions from a client's perspective. What am I looking for? First of all, what problem am I trying to solve? And then second of all, what would the solution to that problem, the best solution, the best freelance solution for that, what would that look like? Is it going to be somebody who has generalized samples, or is it somebody who has closely relevant samples for me? Is it somebody who starts off by talking about themselves and why they love my gig? Or is it somebody who starts off by talking about me and the specific problem I have and how they are an expert in that specific problem and solving that specific problem? The objections. What objections do I have? I mean, is this too creative for my professional gig? Am I doing a creative gig and this is too professional? When I read through a job post, if I need someone highly creative and you start off with dear sir or ma'am, that doesn't match. It doesn't align with what the client needs. So if you don't do that, you're not going to get that interview. Yesterday I applied to one that had 20 to 50 proposals. I didn't use Boost. It was in a completely different niche, educational niche. And I just applied. I looked at what the client wanted. I said they were looking for experience in the educational niche and tutoring niche. I said, I've worked on one tutoring website. But I use their specific language, I address their needs, I use UFocus, and then I said, even though I've worked only on one tutoring website, here are the relevant experiences that I have that might make me a fit for this position. If you want to talk, message me. Got a message within 3 hours, and now I've sent them my call booking link so we can schedule a call. I mean, it's that simple. So if you're sending proposals and you're not getting responses, it's always the same thing. It always comes down to the client thinks your proposal sucks, and it may not suck in the right context. If you apply to the right clients, if you apply to clients where that proposal would be a fit, then that proposal is not going to suck so much for those other clients. But if you apply to a whole bunch of clients and you use the same approach each time, and it doesn't even have to be a template or even a copy and paste job or anything like that, but if you're not saying something that is relevant, if you're not sharing relevant credibility, relevant experience, relevant samples, then you don't look like an expert, at least not a relevant expert. I mean, there's a lot of experts out there. If I need somebody to build me a website, I might look at Brad Pitt and say, Brad Pitt is an expert. He's an expert in acting, but he's not an expert in web design. So I'm not going to hire Brad Pitt, as good looking as he may be, to build my website. I'm going to hire a web designer who is an expert in web design to create my website for me. And that's the difference. You can't just be an expert. You have to be relevant. So you have to share relevant credibility, relevant experience. So the question for you to take away today is to ask yourself, what is my relevant experience for this job? The job that's right here in front of me, the one that I'm trying to apply to right now. What is my relevant experience? Find that first. And do that by stepping into the client's shoes and asking yourself, what problem am I trying to solve? And what would the exact right solution look like to me? What degrees would they have? What certificates would they have? What kind of projects would they have worked on? What examples would they have? What are these things? And how can I find some way to make what I have, what I'm working with, because I'm not going to have something that's the exact match for what they need every single time. How do I take what I have based on my circumstances, based on my situation, my background, my education, my experience, and relate it to what they need? There has to be a connection in between there. That is where you become relevant. They have these needs, you have this experience. How does it relate to that so that you can connect it and become the most relevant person so that you get the interview and can move on to the next stage of the proposal funnel process? Let me know your thoughts in a comment down below. If you have any questions on this, I'll try and answer them. Pop in whenever I can. I really appreciate you all watching. I'm Lex DeVille. Like this video. I'll see you next time.